Hey everybody, welcome to AD2L Season 5 cast by @WolfDota. I got a co-caster for this one, but he's away just grabbing some food and a quick bathroom break and all that good stuff. Me and him have been going ham today. I believe this is about game 8 for us. So, getting into the draft of UDota, or University of Minnesota Dota, against the Techie Suicide Prevention line, which is a fantastic name. I gotta point that out again. So much fun. Quick bans coming out. We got Death Prophet and Void banned by UDota. And then Razor and Tide banned out by Techie Suicide Prevention line. So, not happy with how the Tide Hunter treated them in the last game. So they decided just to get rid of it. I think that's a fine call. Quick pickups. Quickly run through the pickups for each team. Silencer and Shadow Shaman picked up from University of Minnesota, so some solid team fight and push. And then the Clockwork and the Skywrath picked up by the Techies. Some obvious combo there. You get a hook shot in for a Mystic Flare, as well as the bonus damage coming out from Battery Assault. It's not to be... Excuse me. The bonus damage from Battery Assault early is not to be neglected either, as it is a solid 30 to 45% increase on a spell that can do up to 1,000 damage if every proc lands at max level. I want to say it's around 1,000. Captain Crunch Kid is see you in the chat. Shout out to you. Thanks for typing. Wub wub wub. And then we got a quick Spectre ban coming up from Techies. Not something they want to deal with. They've decided. Gonna kind of wait and see what University of Minnesota want to go. I imagine it's going to be a support Skywrath Mage with the offlane Clockwork. Silencer I've seen run as a support today, worked very, very well on the side of, what was that, Herpes. They had, or sorry, was it Herpes? Yeah, it was Herpes. They ran the support Silencer and were able to quickly and effectively counter-initiate Void and Tide. Quite a few times. It was pretty good. Shadow Shaman, I think he'll be run as just a standard support. The PA banned out by the University of Minnesota Dota squad. Guess they decided not to deal with it. Always a solid hero to ban out, just very hard to lock down, and is it kind of hard to deal with. It forces you to build a Monkey King bar on your right clickers, which is not something you want to deal with, especially when you have a Clockwork and a Skywrath Mage, and your heroes are already going to be forced to build BKBs. It's just a lot of items that your heroes are forced into going because of the draft, and it can delay items maybe they need, like Blink Daggers, Forest Staffs, or whatever items they may be. Or maybe they just don't want to get RNG resist and crit. Who knows? Viper banned out by this Techies, so banning out a mid that they don't want to deal with, usually seen as a mid. Alchemist banned by the University of Minnesota. Interesting choice here. Not really sure what provoked them to do that. I guess just not wanting to deal with the damage amp and the farming potential of an alchemist. Usually don't see him in the core role, but can still be run quite effectively there. Second set of picks coming up shortly, and the UDota is gonna want to grab their cores, whether that's their off-laners or their safe laners or mids, unless it's a silencer mid, which I've seen and can do well. Get some points in glaive and can harass back and can win the lane and do a lot of damage and then rotate as well. Usually if you see that, you want to go for an early Atos, as silencer doesn't have any innate control other than a silence, no way to slow people down or stun them, so something to look at there. They're burning up some of their bonus time for this one too, though. Not a whole lot of choice, or not choice, sorry, not very sure what they want to go for here, but we'll have to wait and see. Clockwork I think is pretty solid up against Shadow Shaman, cancels out his shackles really easy, cogs, hookshot, and battery assault. Already talked about this combination with Skywrath Mage. Techie Suicide Prevention line, I think they're gonna be happy that they have this after pick. Ooh, Bristleback picked up by University of Minnesota, so solid hero. We saw him play in the last game, but he was shut down pretty hard. Not in the early game so much, but in the mid game, definitely kind of took a very large beating from an Outworld Destroyer, which went ham, like super ham. It was pretty impressive. I believe that was a hero the Techies had last game. Jakiro picked up for Techie, so they got some push to go with that. The extra magical damage from Jakiro as well. And this is going to be a core Jakiro, I assume. Well, Well, maybe not. I don't know. Now that I say that, I'm looking at their draft and their teams, and Clock's going to be the off lane. They could just be roam with the Skywrath and Jakiro and do a lot of damage, or sit in lane and let somebody farm. Warlock picked up University of Minnesota, grabbing that one, and saw it used very effectively in a couple fights by Herpes. They were able to combo with the Rock as well as a Tide, ulti, the Ravage with the Fatal Bonds, and the OD dropping the Hammer, get some solid kills, and really just do a lot of damage and break up the team fights quite effectively. So Upheaval also unreal spell. The cast range on it is enormous, and the slow potential is something like 86% at max. It's kind of ridiculous. Techies, they're gonna want to get a very mobile. Ooh, that's some weird noise coming through. Not sure what that was. Why is that? Oh, I understand now. It's because the YouTube video with the accidentally clicking on Upheaval or Shadow Word. My bad. Sorry about that, folks. They're gonna want to pick up a very mobile carry. Something like Anti-Mage could be good. Anything else with some built-in mobility. The PA was already banned, so that's the other one that comes to mind. But you're gonna want to be able to have some other way to escape this Fatal Bonds and the goo and whatnot. Gyrocopter's a hero, but not one that meets that criteria. So hopefully there's 4 stabs can be built. I think Avenge would be a really good pickup for the Techie Suicide Prevention. Run the off-lane Clockwork, mid Jakiro or Skywrath, and then the Gyrocopter farming the safe lane with the Avenge support. I think with a swap, maybe going in for a 4-staff, be really solid, can pull the Gyrocopter out of some sticky situations, as it were, with the Nasal Goo and the Upheaval. Then... not too sure other than that, but bans for the University of Minnesota, they don't really have a hard carry yet, unless it is going to be the Silencer, which I think is fine. They do ban OD, which was used quite effectively, so maybe they were watching the last game, saw how much damage it did. The pure damage just chewing through the other team. Another mid laner banned out, though. The Viper is banned out, Razor's banned out, Death Prophet, OD. 10 seconds to go. What else? I mean, like, there's still some older mid laners in the pool, ones that you don't see too often anymore, like the Puck. Magnus was another one that they could have gone for. They pick up a Troll Warlord very quickly. I like it. Not something you see too often. Very good at pushing, can dish out a lot of damage, and Templar Assassin is the pickup. Which, I like Troll because he gives you that mischance and can do a lot of damage with his nukes and stuff like that, but I think he loses pretty hard to TA. Doesn't have any way to really chew through her refraction charges. Orb of Venom does not proc refraction charges, people. Just as a heads up. Refraction is only procced by instances of damage that are 5 or higher. So Orb of Venom only ticks for 3 or 4, I want to say. But I'm going to quickly run through the lineups here. We've got the Wraith playing the Clockwork, Snuggied on the Gyrocopter, tech buddies there. Ninja Cat is playing the Templar Assassin, kind of a ninja hero, good stuff. Dwight Eisenhower is playing the Jakiro, and Bridgemaster is on the Skywrath Mage. Quickly introduce the Dire, which they level 1 smoked. I don't think they're going to go for Roche. They're going to look to fight. But Shadow Shaman's leaving the charge, and that's Mista Crine. Outsiders is handling the Bristleback. Science Bay 5, I guess, is on the Troll Warlord. Belgarth is on the Silencer, and last but certainly not least, on the Warlock we got Lucky Charms. And they're going to run in quickly into the Skywrath Mage, but they didn't, Troll didn't skill his slow, so they got no way to get them there. They don't have the range on the Viscous Nasal Goo or the slow. And I got a message, my co-caster Korean Barbecue is back. How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. Good to be back. Sorry I kind of left you out dry there handling the draft by yourself, but not going to miss any game action, so that's good.
Oh yeah, it's no big deal. I understand that you gotta go grab a snack, run to the washroom, whatever it may be. This is like what? For me, this is like my 8th or 9th game today. I think for you, this is probably your 5th or 6th.
Yeah,
or
we've been
something
going
like
at it
that.
for a while. One thing I did want to point out for the draft, because I wasn't able to see most of it, is if you look at the UMN colors, their heroes all pretty much fit that color scheme. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, because, yeah, this is looking like Minnesota for sure.
They're sponsored. They have to pick. They can only pick heroes that are like base color orange-ish, orange and red. They have to pick those heroes, otherwise it's a no-go.
Yep, that go for pride, man.
Is that what the Minnesota mascot is? Is a gopher?
Yep.
Nice. I'm Canadian, so if you guys are flaming me for not knowing Minnesota, it's because I'm Canadian. But the lanes are shaping up. Clockwork is going to be up against a tri lane coming out here from with Lucky Charms on the Warlock and Mysticon on the Shadow Shaman. Going to be supporting that Troll Warlord. Hero I like. Outsiders is going to be on the off lane Bristleback up against a kind of a pulling farming tri lane. I think this one looks like so far it's been a little more efficient. They did manage to get a stack. Oh, they didn't stack this one. Not blocked. It just got didn't stack, but they did get a stack up on in that one there. So looking for some stacks for that gyro late game, and that's something I like to see. Bristleback though, he's gonna go ham on this Jakiro. Not something you want to deal with early. What do you think of the mid lane matchup?
Um, well, the TA is just an incredibly strong hero mid. She does really well against a wide variety of matchups, and I think this might not be much of an exception. If the TA saves her refraction for the most part, she can deal with the Curse of the Silent, harass really well, and the Silencer's not really going to be a threat to kill her, and he has to be careful not to get too close, or he's going to get harassed from her side blades in the lane. So I like this lane for the TA, even though she's up against a ranged opponent, just because she's such a strong solo.
And we saw her there doing a nice job of juking around the creeps and making sure to get those side blades off on her. That's it. She's taking a lot of harass damage from the silencer. She got hit by last word and proc. Ooh, sorry, Warlock zipping around with a haste rune. Look at that little guy go. Wants to get that Shadow Word, and Shadow Word very good at dealing with the Templar Assassin as it lasts for so long. It'll burn through 2 refractions on her easily. But
Yeah, and it looks like they're content to, as we see a battle breaking out up here between the troll and the clockwork. I like that they're rotating him around. They're paying attention to the runes and how valuable those are as a resource to also keep the TA from just freely getting them, so that she has endless regen and refraction charges. And
mhm.
yeah, so I like how they're deploying the Warlock here. The Bristleback did get forced away through his own jungle, but as long as he's careful, they shouldn't really be able to kill him bottom because, unless he's facing the wrong direction, of course, and he just takes the full extent of damage from Gyrocopter.
Yeah. Um, Troll got salved up. Clockwork, I believe, used his own. What's coming out? Bottle's coming out for TA. Not sure if that's her. Yeah, that'd be her bottle crowing. Oh, it's actually heading back to the base. But see, refraction getting burnt off by the Warlock there, so that's got to be a little frustrating. Outsiders is gonna do all right as long as he doesn't run from the missile too much. See, this is when missile is good. Is when people run from it. That's when it does damage. I mean, it's only level 1, so it's not going to do too much. More points than Rocket Barrage this time for the gyro. Very often you see that 111 and then max missile because it does up to 500 damage, which even against a bristleback, that's going to suck. Plus, it's a pretty long stun duration, 2.8 seconds. Not something you want to get you want to mess with too casually. Long time of control. Plus, it'll lead them to you.
Yeah, that homing missile has been buffed recently because it was one of the underutilized parts of Gyrocopter's toolkit, and it has become, as you said, a nice tool for both damage and stun. So it's pretty good. The Bristleback does have to respect it because if he gets stunned, that just sets up the Skywrath and Jakiro. So
Speaking of
yeah,
which, they're going to harass him. There's a magic missile on the way, and he's taking a lot of damage from this. I don't think they're going to want to dive the tower, but it's going to suck. Oh, he turns and faces the missile. That's a lot more damage than... I guess he doesn't have any points in Bristleback anyway yet. Interesting build coming up for him. 1-2. No points in the passive yet. Thoughts? Normal? Weird? Don't care?
uh, yeah, that's. I mean, as you pointed out, that's it's kind of odd. Does he realize he's in the off lane against 3 people? I mean, Goo. Usually, you get that point in Goo by level 4, so that you can hunt down anybody who's out of position, maybe. But at this
Hmm.
point, he doesn't have a single point in his bristleback, so it's going to be easier to harass him and more threatening to kill him. So he'll probably have to, I don't know, adjust to that if he wants to not get taken down.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough time in this lane. Taking a look at the farm for the lanes, Gyrocopter, unsurprisingly, is doing pretty well for himself, sitting at the top of the charts, 25 and 11. Next, we've got his counterpart in the Dire safe lane with the Troll Warlord sitting at 21. And then it's TA, who unsurprisingly is winning that mid lane, 21 to 13. So not too bad coming out for the side of the Radiant. They're leading the farm. No first blood yet, but the The net worth and the experience is just showing a steady climb in their favor, so they're being much more efficient on the map. They've got a stack up here, a nice stack here as well. Is that a double? Just a double. Any others? And then one here as well. So they've got three double stacks in the jungle as well. So they're being a lot more efficient than University of Minnesota is. They've only got the one small camp stacked up, but that's just a pull. So.
Yeah, and this bristleback's having a really hard time. He came back down to the lane after being harassed out. Instantly gets harassed again. That last missile, ducking for cover behind his tier 2 tower, and that has allowed Radiant to put some early pressure on it with that liquid fire from the Jakiro. And this tower might drop soon. I mean, he came back and didn't even have a single level to show for it. Just had to buy another TP scroll instantly.
Yeah, that's a tough place to be in as an offlaner. I see what you mean, though. He comes back instantly. Ooh, Shadow Shaman rotates around, too, but not somewhere he wants to be. And I think the Shadow Shaman is just going to be sad as well. But Jakiro's going to get that other point up in Liquid Fire and just run up, Liquid Fire, run away. And do that until the tower dies.
Yep, and this is one of the things I like about Gyrocopter when you run him as a safe laner as a carry. He's a carry. He's kind of squishy, but he can take care of himself in terms of damage. As we see, I think the Shadow Shaman's going to get punished here.
Yeah, he goes for the Shackle there, but he's taking a lot of damage from it. Nice Ice Pass. Unfortunately, he doesn't clip. Oh, one more auto attack, and that's a flat cannon. Going to be first blood. Nice job for the Gyro there, knowing that he can attack the Bristle and get that extra range. Good call from him. So good play coming out from Snuggied on this one, getting that first blood.
Yep, and that's exactly what we were talking about there. He was kind of hiding on the side as the Templar Assassin does drop the silencer in mid while that's happening, and he's got a lot of burst damage, especially out of his Rocket Barrage, and of course that Flat Cannon heads up play as they're going to look for revenge here.
Yeah. In the bottom lane, they're going to go. They get the Ice Path, but oh, they're going to drop the ulti. Looks like they want to dive the tower. No, they're going to throw out one more Doves, and they get the kill. The Doves doing just enough damage to get him. So nice play there, and then they lose their Warlock top right after their silencer as well. So a lot of deaths. Well, they are going to get a return kill. Finally getting on the board there. Warlock with the Fatal Bonds does get a kill procced off, but that's 4 early kills going to the side of the Techies this game. So they're going to be happy with that early game so far, and they're about 2,000 experience ahead, and probably 3,500 gold already. So pretty drastic.
Yeah,
8 minutes into the game.
TA picks up another kill there on the silencer. So
jeez, these kills are going on all over the place. I'm missing them everywhere too. Looking top lane, TA kills silencer mid. It's not great. Let's step up in my game. You can flame me at WolfDota on Twitter.
Bristleback opts not to pursue the Skywrath, even though the allies are there near the lane. So, yeah, this early lane phase is going pretty well for Techies. It looks like they've pretty much won mid handily. Their TA has 3 times the last hits of the silencer and 2 kills to boot. And, of course, bottom's doing pretty well, too.
And I don't think that's the TA's fault, per se. I don't think they picked the silencer wanting to put him mid, because he was picked pretty early. I think he was picked as a support, and then later they decided to go into the Gyro. They decided to go into the Bristleback and the Troll. I think they should have. I think if they had. Oh, Global comes out because of the fight breaking out bottom. Shaman's dead. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's level 1 rocket. It's not max. Meanwhile, Bristleback's gonna drop. They get a kill on the Jakiro. Warlock does go down on the same side. The flat cannon's coming out as well. That's gonna hit and it's gonna take down the Bristleback. So he drops again to the Doves. 2 for 1 exchange coming out there on the bottom. Like TA. They get is that one of those kills mid? No, they were both bottom. But Jakiro did go down.
Yeah, TA did manage to polish off the Warlock mid. Again, a lot of things happening simultaneously. So.
Yeah, Warlock. Oh, that meld damage though. One more right click and TA is gonna be dropping. Gets the trap slow and poof. Oi, Ninja Cat. 4-0, hasn't even left the mid lane yet. What a player.
Yeah, and he hasn't had to because they keep coming to
bottom
him.
lane. They get a cogs off on the silencer, and they get another kill again. Jakiro right there with him. Burns it down after taking down that bottom tower. This game is quickly going in favor of the Techies. The University of Minnesota, they're having some hard times here, but they got to just take a step back, stop the bleeding, and try and get some farm. But what I was trying to say earlier is I think if they had picked, instead of the Troll Warlord, but I like the hero, but if they'd picked a better mid-hero, jeez, not even the Bristleback can go anywhere near this TA. They'd picked a better mid-hero, maybe something that could have gone up. TA was last picked though, wasn't it? TA was the last pick of the game. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
couldn't have.
was.
There's not a lot they could have done. So excellent draft came out from Techies. I was gonna say if it's too bad U of M didn't. They didn't. Yeah, it's good of Techies not to pick TA earlier because then U of M could have gone something like a Venomancer or maybe like something that has multiple procs of damage to be able to actually harass the Quap. Or sorry, harass Quap. Maybe I don't know. Kind of. I think the lane's fairly even. It comes down to who plays better with that one. One hero doesn't just win it.
Yeah, and as you said, with some of those counters at the same time, when you're gonna make that pick, you want to give away your
Oh
pick
my.
as late as possible.
She's going on the troll, but she's going to get deterred by the silencer. So playing very aggressive and effectively, sitting at 5-0, but not greedy, not overly greedy per se. Knows when it's too far to go and not enough. But the bristleback drops to the rocket. I think that was the rocket that got the final hit. Had a flat cannon charge, but kills happening all over the map, and this is quickly snowballing out of control for University of Minnesota.
Yeah, I think part of what we're seeing from these drafts is you're leaning very heavily upon the ultimates as we see the Jakiro going on the Warlock here top. He's about to get reinforcements. There's the hookshot. It's off the mark.
That was so close. That was such a close hook shot. He even had the cogs shift clicked. Words. I'm good at them. Liquid fire onto the troll. Pops his whirling axes, deter anybody from going on him. Clockwork pops the battery assault, and then turns around. Popped it to farm the creep, that's why. Totally why. That said, TA does find the shaman again. Brings him down. This guy on TA is just a monster.
Yeah, where was this last game when needed? Although I think TA was banned, so that's
Yeah.
probably why we didn't see it.
Yeah, and now these guys might know a little more about each other than we do. A lot of them may have played each other in the AD2L in different matches and stuff like that, so maybe that's where some of these bans are coming. I unfortunately haven't been able to cast every game of the AD2L, but these guys have played against each other before. Top lane, though, we're going to have a pretty big engagement. Ice Path's coming out. Mystic Flare is off the mark. Ice Path misses also. Bristleback's looking to run in. Silencer and the Bristleback are kind of pinched there, but then the Troll Warlord wraps around the cogs on the Bristleback. Bristleback's going to drop to this. Nice cogs, though, keeping everybody pushed away, and he's taking a lot of damage. Then TA comes in and gets a triple kill with a Meld Strike. Holy crap. Ultra kill for the TA. Excellent rotation from him. Those side blades, though, they just chewed through them. That was where all of that damage came from all at once.
Yeah, and of course that double damage helped
Oh,
too. So taking
disgusting.
a step back here, nice ultra kill there from the TA. To look at the big picture, I think one of the problems here that the Dire are having, Minnesota, is they're very ultimate dependent if they want to take these fights. They need that troll ult, which isn't a problem, but the silencer ulti and warlock ulti have longer cooldowns. The shadow shaman just barely got his ulti, so they kind of need those spells to be able to hold off the damage and the face rush from Radiant. And Radiant have heroes that, while they have strong ultis, are not nearly as dependent on them. So I think we're seeing a lot of these fights are basically catalyzed by the lack of ultis or lack of cooldowns for Dire, and Radiant is just absolutely wiping the floor with them so far. TA, one of the most self-sufficient heroes in the game, off to a great start and just continuing to snowball out of control.
She's sitting at 10-0. I mean, I don't even know what you do to the TA at this point. Her net worth is up to 10, just shy of 10,000. Throws out some more traps and stuff. She's at 9,200 net worth. She's 3,200 against the next closest, which is her Gyrocopter, which is 1,000 ahead of the Troll Warlord. So it's
yeah, she's literally almost double the net worth of the safe lane farmer on the Dire, and she's got 4 times the net worth of her lane matchup. So I think it's safe to say that she won mid pretty handily.
Yeah, and I'm not. Oh, Warlock drops to the Gyro Clockwork combo in the bottom lane. That's that one. That one came out quick. And I'm not trying to flame the silencer at all. Belgarth, I think it was just like they didn't have a good hero to go up against her in the draft. Oh, the shackles go just as the ancient seal goes. It actually cancels himself. Silencer throws out the with the Curse of the Silent, cleans up the illusions. And TA's got a Mantha style, or sorry, a Desolator almost. When she gets that Desolator, Shaman and Warlock are literally food. So is Silencer. Like, there's actually nothing they can do up against that.
Yeah, and with the casual Yasha and the drums and the phase boots, when she activates her phase boost, she's moving around at 465. So it's just a fast hurtling death coming right at you.
But bottom, they're going to look to engage. They pop the global. Unfortunately, Jakiro still got off the ice path. That's it. They had a nice golem rock, stunning the gyrocopter through it. He's taking a lot of damage. Rocket's going to go out onto the troll warlord. He's going to go down. Then quickly followed by the Jakiro and the warlock on the other side. Or sorry, gyro on the other side dropping as well. And looks like that's going to be all she wrote. A 2-for-1 in favor of the University of Minnesota. They lose their one position, but they get their, well, the safe lane farmer, not the #1 net worth, but they get 2 heroes for their 1. So some golden experience going their way, much needed. And but I'm not a little worried. A little worried.
Yeah, they're definitely in some trouble. The gyro we see going the BKB first, so that's kind of a fighting build. He wants to be active, and here we see the wards from the Shadow Shaman. He might be getting their first tower of the game here, as the TA is clearing Ancients, and I don't know, she might want to respond. She doesn't.
Quick shot from the Clockwork. They quickly finish off the Shadow Shaman, though. No counter initiate to speak of. That's what you're talking about before. Their ultimate's on such a long cooldown. That said, they are going to get the Skywrath Mage. Clockwork does drop in the end, but it doesn't matter. The Templar Assassin rotates through with that freshly picked up Desolator and the Yasha, combined with the call down. That's quick kills going her way. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, yeah, you're right on point. I must have started that fight there, but the Templar Assassin is just absolutely out of control. She does have Desolator now, so this tower is going to disappear basically. And yeah, again, there's not much the Dire can do right now. They don't have their ults. I'm not even sure if they're taking these fights with their ults. They're just getting steamrolled.
Yeah, and the Ice Pack comes out and rip Warlock. Couple quick right clicks, and that's all she wrote.
He just disintegrated in about 3 hits.
Yeah.
To his TA.
No, for sure. TA currently sitting 13-0-1. He's more than half their kills. He actually has more than half of their kills. Look at him clearing up those ancients as well.
And, we were talking about this last game, but if you're playing at 3500 MMR again, this is somebody you want on your. This is what you want to see out of your mid lane.
Yeah, nice Clockwork hook onto the Troll Warlord, followed up by his Shackles though. That goes the other way. Clockwork maybe didn't want to hook that. Could have been a bad call.
Nice presence of mind. Nice presence of mind from the Shadow Shaman. They're turning back. He had 50 HP. He was about to die. A lot of people would have just run in that situation, but he said, "Hey, you know what? I've got spells up, and I'll end your day."
Yeah. Quick Roshan coming out from the TA and the Gyro. Pick it up solo very easily. All the minus armor from the Meld and the Deso, making that very simple. And they're going to look to push. I imagine they're probably going to want to knock down all these extra towers. TA is running forward. She wants to game. They're freaking out. Oh, that damage! 2 shots the Warlock, and is going to end up 4-shotting the Silencer. Troll Warlord's a little tankier. He's got a little more armor. Mystic Flare comes out, but it's not on the right hero. It goes onto the TA instead of the Troll. They're going to slow her down, and they're going to get her, but she's got an Aegis. Oh, she turns around, bursts up the Bristleback. Not a lot she can do. The Troll Warlord does drop down, and so Rampage for the TA. Jeez. Ninja Cat, too strong. Please nerf.
Yeah, this.
I think she snowballed.
I think so too. I think she's pretty big. I wouldn't be surprised. It would not shock me if we saw a GG call come out soon, because I am not sure how they're going to do anything about this TA. What they can hope for, I guess, which is what's happening, is she's continuing to pile on more damage items, even though she doesn't really even need more damage. She might want some survival, so maybe they have a hope that she continues to get cocky, and maybe they throw on high ground or they end a streak, but other than that, I mean, their window's really closing. She is literally 2 or 3 shotting the tankiest heroes on their team.
She's got a Daedalus now, so get ready for the Meld crits. Warlock Golem is going to land on 4, though. Nice play from him, followed up by a beautiful Ice Bath, and then Warlock dies to the TA in the back. She's dropping very low, but she's got her Aegis. I think it's going to get popped. The Gyrocopter does go down. Aegis on the TA does get popped. They managed to clean up the Silencer. So far, it's a Aegis and Gyro for 3. TA's back up. She's going to go. Holy! That wasn't even with a crit. There's 1. She quickly blows up the Shadow Shaman. She's got a double kill going beyond godlike. She's starting to dive the tower, though. This is a little risky. Meld crit. Oh my gosh, that damage. Quickly blows up the Troll Warlord with 1 quick Meld strike and just runs out. No big deal. And Her team's like, okay, we'll take this tower. Good job. Go team. Like, oh.
Yeah, this is a runaway train here, and
Uh,
if I were the Dire, I would say it's not even worth really defending your outer towers if they try to take their outer towers as they're doing right now.
yeah, they are going to
As
lose their clockwork, though. He gets caught up by a shackle and a fatal bonds. He manages... Ooh, see? Fatal bonds. Good spell. Look at the ether shock damage coming out on the clockwork.
Yep, that was one in a long string of needed pickoffs if they're going to claw their way back into this game. But yeah, I think they should pretty much give up these tier 1s. They should try to take objectives in return and say, you know what, let's fight on high ground. If there's one place where we have kind of an advantage, that's got to be it. And right now, this
Yeah.
TA, I mean, the last thing they could do is keep feeding her. She's at, I think, 900 GPM almost with all those kills. I mean, she's got 1 kill per minute, which is an absurd pace. So they really have to avoid fighting her unless they have a distinct advantage in which to do so. And the Aegis is down, so that might provide an opening because she doesn't have any defensive items, as we mentioned. But they're still going to have to do very well in their fight and be perfectly positioned, essentially.
She's sitting at about 1100 XP per minute and 880 gold per minute. Holy balls. Meanwhile, mid lane, the Dire is going to pressure it. They are going to get a tower. So, crawling back in the right direction. They got the Serpent Wards down. They get the tower, and now they're running away. And they're like, okay, TA's taking our top tower, boys. They pop the Glyph, and they're going to actually TP in the Shaman. This is pretty brave.
It is pretty brave. The Shaman TP'd in with no mana either, so, I mean...
Balls to the walls plays.
Yep. The Tia's got a Manta now, so...
He's going to see the Bristleback. Does she want to pursue? Global Silence comes out. They managed to... They killed the Silencer. Where did he die? Oh, he died bottom to the Gyro. I'm super confused. Gyro's pressuring the high ground. They're going to have to run down there. They're quite a ways away on the wrong side of the map. He's going to TP out. He's low on health and mostly out of mana. And
they tried to
TA's...
save their Silencer, and he just
Yeah.
popped the BKB through the silence and just did his thing anyway.
TA's going to probably be able to finish off. No Glyph coming out for the side of the Dire, so she's going to quickly clean up this tower and that creep wave walking up the hill and then start pushing bottom. She's got a Manticile as well, so she can just send her illusions up the hill and push with them if they want to. Bristleback does have a Vanguard, which, I mean, might be a little too late. I think your better bet would have been trying to somehow get a Heaven's Halberd and just disarm her and then kill everybody else and pray that you can do it beforehand. But I mean, the Gyro does is like we're talking so much about this TA, but Gyro, he's got a Monkey King bar and a BKB at 23 minutes. He's not doing too shabby himself. Nice Warlock Golem's going to go out, followed up by the Troll Axes. They quickly burst down the Skywrath Mage and the Jakiro. Meanwhile, though, TA is going to run for it. She gets disarmed, I believe. Yeah, she gets disarmed by the Silencer and is starting to drop low, but she gets a nice crit and a double kill comes up for her. Gyrocopter falls up as well. TA is beyond godlike. Triple kill for her. Buyback from the Troll. They're going to go down fighting. I like it, even though they're not going to really be able to do much. They're trying, giving it their all. TA cleans up the Troll Warlord and the Bristleback. Ultra kill for her. TA 25-0-1. Taking racks. Bristleback buys back and runs at them. They're not calling it yet. These guys they're in it for the long haul. She's got 5,100 gold in the bank. I mean, it's 23 minutes in.
Give up just like that.
It's 23 minutes in. You've got 973 gold per minute on TA and 1,200 gold, 1,200 XP per minute. What do you buy? Divine?
Well,
Get the Raffle Divine?
She's the gold for that. If she sells her TP, she's going to have the gold for it. But I want to point out that fight there, I think the Dire had a chance to actually bring her down because the Shackle and some of the focus fire there went on the Clockwork instead, while the TA was running through the upheaval and her shields were down, so to speak, and they might have had a chance to kill her, but again, there's no margin for error in these fights if you're dealing with a hero that's this far ahead and this much of a runaway train. So they did not seize that opportunity, lost a set of Raxes, and I credit their tenacity here, but I don't think there's much they can do as she seems to be going for a butterfly and not the rapier.
Yeah. She goes for the safe build, gets an Eagle Song. She's got her butterfly on the crow. She hits for 1 billion. She's two-shotting Ancients, like, jeez. Doesn't even bother popping Meld. She's just gonna looks like she just wants to wander into the bottom lane. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a fight breaking out. Clockwork does go in and gets a kill on the Warlock. Shackle's coming as well. Gyrocopter pops his BKB and his ulti, and he's doing a lot of damage. TA's not even in this fight yet that I can see, and Snuggie is just going ham. He is going to drop, though. Shadow Shaman picks up a kill. Where's TA? TA's just pushing bottom. She feels like, oh, Skywrath gets the long kill, and they managed to get the win. TA ends the game 26-0-1.
Yep, and there's the one shot of the silencer at the end to punctuate how this game has been. That's basically how it started, with her killing a silencer, and that's how it comes to an end.
Yeah.
So an impressive performance here by Techies, looking like a totally different team from the one we saw last game, and they're going to claw their way back up from the losers bracket.
Yeah, good match from them, and I'm not trying to flame the guy playing the silencer at all. It's just a really poor matchup, silencer against TA. There's not a lot the poor guy can do. So in the end, though, I want to know what her golden experience per minute was. Holy balls! 1,016 gold per minute, 1,250 experience per minute. Jesus.
I haven't seen numbers like that in a long time.
No, that was an impressive game. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If you're watching in the chat, or in Twitch, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching in the client, thank you very much for purchasing the ticket and supporting the AD2L. I myself am Wolf Dota. You can follow me at Twitter, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch. My co-caster, Korean Barbecue. You got any plugs you want to make?
No, I'm good. The time will come for that.
Okay, plug. And thank you very much for tuning. I'm gonna put on some tunes, and we'll be back with another game in the $100 one-day tournament for the AD2L.